Did you know that when a butterfly is breaking out of its cocoon, sometimes it can feel like a near death experience, but nobody can step in to help the butterfly get out of this cocoon. It has to do it itself, even though it literally feels like it's dying. This morning, God gave me a revelation. I was sitting in a hammock, but it was kind of a little on the cheaper side. So it was like real thin. And when I sat in it, it like closed up like I was in a cocoon. And something I always say is like, I'm God's butterfly. Like I've been through so much stuff and, like I'm his butterfly. I'm the thing, like, I transformed. He made me new. And it always reminds me of 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17. Verse 17, through him all things are made new. I'm a new creation in Christ. And I have this little tattoo here, and if you know what that means, you know what it means. But I always say, like, because I made it to the other side, I'm God's butterfly. So this morning when I'm sitting in the hammock and it started wrapping up like I'm in a cocoon and it's like a slither of light, God tells me, like, this is where you're at. You're my butterfly, but you're still in your cocoon. And although you can see, because I could see the trees and stuff like that, but I couldn't see everything because I could only see a slither of like what was open. He was like, your cocoon is breaking open and you're trying to come out, but this is where you're comfortable. This is what you know. That's when he led me to look up, like, what happens if a butterfly cannot get out of its cocoon? It dies. But it's so crazy because if you stay in the cocoon, you die. But when you feel like you're coming out of the cocoon, it feels like you're dying, even though you're not. And so God basically told me, like, even though you're comfortable here, if you stay here, you will die. And when you feel like you're coming out, it will also feel like you are dying. And it's so crazy because it's like every time I feel like I'm breaking out of that cocoon and I'm beginning to like spread my wings, I feel like something is on me and it just makes me want to curl back up into that cocoon. And God was letting me know that if you stay here in this cocoon, you will die. But when you come out of this cocoon, you will feel like you're dying. It's not something that you can avoid. Either you're going to feel like you're dying or you're actually going to die. So the choice is up to you. And I don't know if this is somebody else's word, but I felt led to share it because that's what happened to me this morning. And, I just want to get on here and encourage you to let you know, like, a butterfly represents new beginnings. And I've been seeing butterflies everywhere, and I feel like God has been telling me, like, it's your time to spread your wings. Do not stay where you are comfortable and complacent because ultimately it will lead to your death. It's time for you to spread your wings and fly. And I feel like a lot of us are in that season right now where it's time for us to spread our wings and fly. And, God has opened up the cocoon a little bit for us to come out, but it's on us to break through. And nobody can step in and help us. He cannot do it for us. It's something that we have to do because at the end of the day, when a butterfly comes out of its cocoon, nobody can help it. So it's up to us to make those next steps. And it's not just a physical thing, because physically you may be doing everything God has called you to do, but mentally you're still in your cocoon. Or vice versa, you may be mentally ready to do everything God is telling you to do, but physically you're still in your cocoon. It's about coming out. It's about coming out of your cocoon mentally and physically and being one in that new creation in Christ and walking in that and spreading your wings and flying around. When people see butterflies, they think, oh my goodness, they're so beautiful and they represent new beginnings. And you coming out of your cocoon could represent new beginnings for the people around you. A lot of times we feel like, oh, it's only me, I only affect me. But sometimes you coming out of your cocoon could be the catalyst to bring somebody else out of theirs. So don't look at it as a thing of like, I can't do this, I'm not ready, because God is waiting on us to come out of our cocoons and spread our wings and fly. He's waiting for us to be that beautiful butterfly that flies, around and encourages other people and brings light to other people. And, if you don't want to do it for nobody else, do it for yourself. Don't die in that cocoon. It may feel like you're going to die coming out, but just know if you keep pushing, it's glory on the other side of it. Romans chapter 8 verse 17 says that we must share the sufferings of Christ to receive the glory that he received. Romans 8:18 chapter 8 verse 18 also says that the suffering that we go through is nothing compared to the glory that we will receive up in heaven. So just know that the suffering that you're going through now, being in that cocoon, being stuck, is nothing compared to the glory that you will receive when you come out of your cocoon. And y'all, literally, as I'm making this video, y'all see it right here, a butterfly. It is making me so emotional because God literally is letting me know, like, you are my butterfly. This is your new beginning. It's time to spread your wings. It's time to fly. It's time to get out of that cocoon and not to die in that cocoon. So